It's Reezy reporting live at Florida Southwestern State College for the Reason Sports Show. I'm here in Fort Myers right now for the Geico High School Nationals. There's no games going on right now, so I decided that it would be good if we talked about the top 10 running backs in the class of 3021, which is this class of graduating seniors. All of these running backs are subscribers to the channel, and they have potential to be great college football players. But all players are not created equally. Some players are going to be better than others, which is why we're going to be ranking them right now. One of these guys is a 5-star, the rest of them are 4-star. So not the strongest running back class in the world, but there's still a lot of talent, and I think any Power 5 team would be lucky to get any of these guys on their roster. We have to start the list off with 5-star running back DeJuan Williams out of Baltimore, Maryland that plays for St. Francis Academy. Williams was initially committed to the University of Michigan, but late into the recruitment process, Williams had a change of heart and decided to flip his commitment to the University of Maryland. Williams ends up staying home and joins a pretty stacked recruiting class that they have at Maryland. If the Terps can continue stacking up good recruiting classes and continue to bring in top tier local talent, I could see them being a Big Ten contender in the future. Williams had a good senior season as well. 940 rushing yards, 9 rushing touchdowns, 35 catches, 343 receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns. Williams also won a national championship as a junior at St. Francis. I expect Williams to go to Maryland and contribute immediately. Shout out to DeJuan Williams though. He is a subscriber to the channel. He plays for St. Francis Academy in real life, and he's committed to the University of Maryland in real life. Congratulations to his commitment in real life and his commitment in the class of 3021. The number 2 running back in the class of 3021 is 4-star running back Ahmad Weathers, coming out of the state of Oklahoma for Bixby High School. Weathers has very good speed on him, he can cut as well, and he's a physical back. I watched him week after week put damage to defenses all over the state of Oklahoma and some good Texas team as well. Weathers is from Bixby, Oklahoma, so you knew you had to play for Bixby High School. Showed out against almost every team he played against. For Bixby as a senior, Weathers rushed for 1,126 yards, 9 rushing touchdowns, while also adding 28 catches, 438 receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns through the air. Throughout his high school football career, Weathers was a consistent player, game after game, week after week, and he showed up, eventually leading Bixby to 2 Oklahoma State championships. That's pretty impressive. Weathers is currently undecided and uncommitted on where he wants to go to college, but signing day is coming up soon, so he will definitely need to make the decision. The 3rd running back in the class of 3021 comes from the city of Atlanta in the state of Georgia, and that's Tamari Jones out of Roswell High School. Jones has been productive ever since he started playing for the Hornets. This past season as a senior, 1,451 rushing yards, 17 rushing touchdowns, while also recording 42 catches, 500 receiving yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. That's a hell of a season for a senior running back, especially since they play against top tier competition in the state of Georgia. When I watch Jones on film, I don't see an overly explosive back, but I see a nice, tough, physical runner with good vision that can make nice cuts and break big gains. Now, I don't think that him on the college level will be breaking out plenty of 80, 90, 70-yard touchdown runs, but I think that he can have a lot of 20, 30, and 40 touchdown runs. Every single time he gets hit, he always falls forward. Nice, tough, physical runner, and I think he'll be an asset on any team in the Power 5 this season. The number 4 running back in all of high school football is 4-star running back Rashard Bishop, coming out of Cocoa, Florida for Cocoa High School. As a senior, Rashard went off 1,500 rushing yards, 10 rushing touchdowns, 343 receiving yards, and had 1 receiving touchdown. Just like Tamari Jones, Rashard Bishop is not an explosive breakaway running back, but he's a physical, stiff-arming, between the tackles guy who's going to get every single yard he possibly can. Don't sleep on his physical abilities though. He might not run a 4.4, might not run a 4.3, might can't jump out the gym, but he's definitely fast enough. I think he's around the 4.5 range in my opinion. Bishop is currently uncommitted and undecided on the college. Doesn't know where he wants to go as of right now, but he has a lot of time. I think he can be effective on any single Power 5 team, and I'm excited to see where he will be committing when it's time for him to commit on signing day. The number 5 running back in all of high school football in the class of 3021 is 4-star running back GK Todd out of Duncanville High School in Duncanville, Texas. Now, even though GK Todd plays for Duncanville in Texas, he's originally from Des Moines, Iowa. And when I see GK Todd on film, I see a physical back that's willing to run you over in an instant. He does not shy away from contact, doesn't really try to run around you like that. His main goal on the football field is to put his head through your chest and put you on the ground. Unfortunately for Todd, his play style ended up hurting him in the long run. He got injured this year and was not able to complete the season. Throughout his senior season, he did have production though. 800 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. Didn't have any receiving numbers, but hopefully he can come out this season and be 100% healthy when he hits the football field. Todd is currently a 4-star recruit. He's committed and he signed to the LSU Tigers. Hopefully he can be an impact player as a true freshman. If not, and he's still working through that injury, he takes a year to red shirt, stay fresh, and whenever he hits the football field, I expect him to be a big-time player in the SEC. One of my favorite running backs in all of high school football is the number 6 running back in the class of 3021, and that's Keoni Davila out of Miami, Florida, that plays for the Miami Central Rockets. Davila is one of the most talented players in the nation, extremely athletic, can catch the ball out of the backfield, runs a 4.3 speed, great short area quickness. He has it all as a running back. The only disadvantage for him is that he's small, 5'9", 175 pounds, but he's just way too talented to be just a regular average Joe in college football. The traits pop off the screen when you watch him, and he had good production as well. Didn't have that many carries, but he had 704 rushing yards, 10 rushing touchdowns, 221 receiving yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns during his senior year. He's committed to play for the Miami Hurricanes, and I think he can make an impact, especially on special teams early on. He has the speed and explosiveness to take anything to the house at any point in time of the game. There are a lot of Miami players, played for Miami Central, Miami Northwestern, etc., going to the U now. Will Keoni Davila spark something new for the Miami? I don't know. We'll find out. The number 7 running back in the 3021 class is Xavier Babin from Dallas, Texas, but he plays for Katy High School in Katy, Texas. Different part of Texas, but still was effective every single time he touched the football field. Probably the best vision out of any running back I've seen in this class. Now, he doesn't have the physical abilities that jump off of the screen like a Keoni Davila or not even a DeJuan Williams, but when you watch Babin on film, his vision pops out to you. It jumps out to you immediately. Almost every single time he gets the ball, it's like, wow, he picked the right hole. He picked the right hole again. He did it once again. And it's like he's always getting positive yards when he's on the field. As a senior, he had a decent senior season. 645 rushing yards, not many carries though, 7 rushing touchdowns, and 185 receiving yards. So the stats don't blow you away. The physical ability doesn't blow you away. But trust me, when this kid gets on a Power 5 football field, he's going to make an impact simply because of his vision. Such a natural at the position, and I think any team would be lucky to have him on their team. Yeah, he might not be a generational talent or a superstar running back, but I think he can be a productive running back for 4 years on any college team. The number 8 running back in the class of 3021 is 4-star running back Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson played for the Miramar Patriots these past couple of years. Now, he did not have outstanding production, and this is a theme for a lot of guys on these lists. Like I said, this is not based on stats, none of that. This is about traits that translate to the next level. And Jalen Johnson definitely has some traits. Nice vision, good speed, great short area quickness, and good contact balance. Last season, he had 1,005 rushing yards, even with a bunch of talented players on his team. But this past season as a senior, he had 454 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 303 receiving yards, and 4 receiving touchdowns. Not the most eye-popping year on the stat sheet, but Miramar had their best season in recent history, winning the state championship and almost making it to the national championship, being ranked in the top 5 at the end of the season. The reason why Johnson didn't get that many touches is because 5-star quarterback Josh Prince, he's the real deal. They had some weapons on the outside as well. Miramar had a lot of talent. They didn't need to use him as much, so they kept him fresh his senior year, and he should be more effective going into his freshman year of college. Right now, Johnson is undecided, uncommitted on where he wants to go to college, but Expect him to make his signing day decision very soon. The number 9 running back in the class of 3021 is Adrian Jacobs from Mater Dei. Adrian Jacobs was productive almost every single week. Rarely did he ever give you a huge performance, never really gave you that 130, 120 yard rushing game, but he was steady, consistent, 68, 70, 80 yards consistently. And he's a pretty good running back when you talk about his skill set. Elite goal line back. You put that man on the goal line, he's always going to get that yard. Short yardage, always going to get it. As a senior, he had 709 rushing yards, 18 rushing touchdowns. That's crazy. 347 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown. Jacobs, like a lot of other players on this list, is currently unsigned and uncommitted. We'll find out where he'll be committing to on signing day. Last but not least, the number 10 running back in the class of 3021 is 4-star running back Justin Virgo from Bowie, Maryland, that plays for DeMatha Catholic High School in Hyattsville, Maryland. Justin Virgo is committed to the University of Maryland, and as a sophomore, he had a great season, recorded 1,100 rushing yards, but the past 2 seasons, his production has been down. He's been playing with 5-star wide receiver Cato Hendricks, who also gets a lot of carries on offense. This past season, Justin put up 419 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns, but when you watch him, you know that the traits are there. I think he could potentially be the best running back in this class. Luckily for him and the number 1 running back in his class will be college teammates, so that should be a dynamic duo at the University of Maryland. Can't wait to see them in action. Well, that pretty much does it for the top 10 running backs in high school football. All of these players were subscribers to the channel. All of them are straight up dogs, and I can't wait to see them in college. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all comment on the video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click on the post notification bell too. And make sure you comment if you want to see a video of yourself. Comment in the comment section. You can be a character in the Reason Sports Network universe. We make content for high school, college, and the pros. You can submit a form. The link will be in the description. However, if you sign up with Patreon, you'll have a lot more customization and control over your character. The link will be in the description.